Hello everyone, welcome to our video lecture on software engineering. So today's class we are going to start our second chapter, that is introduction to software process and software process model. So what is a software process? Software process means it is a structured set of activities that are used to develop a software product. So what does that mean, a structured set of activities? So structured set of activities means they are well defined activities, or we can say they are well organized activity. By following these activities we can develop a software product. So software process is a set of structured activities. So structured activity means these are well defined activities. By following these well defined activities, we are going to develop a software product, or we can call it as a software application or software solution. So these activities, the outcome of this activity is a software solution. So what are those activities? So let us see what are those activities. The first activity is specification. The second activity is design and implementation. The third activity is validation. And the last one, or the fourth activity, is evaluation. So these are the fundamental activities which we are going to follow whenever we are going to develop a software product. So carrying out all these activities, all these 4 activities, we can call it as a software process. So let us discuss it one by one. So the first one is specification. So in case of a specification phase, we are going to define what our system should do. What our system. So in case of specification phase, we are going to define what our system should do. That means what are the functionalities or what are the services our system is going to provide to whom? To the end user or to the customer. That we are going to define in case of specification phase. So in case of specification phase, there are 2 parties involved. First one is our customer or the end user for whom we are going to develop the software, and the second party is the development team who are responsible for developing the software product for the end user or for the customer. The customer will tell them what are their requirements, what are their actual requirements, or what they expect from the software. Like suppose consider a college management system. So in case of college management system, if we people are going to develop a college management software, then we have to ask our software developers to develop a software where there should be different functionalities, like one function should give the student details, another function should give the result, another function should be there that will give us the admit card, another function should be there that will give the semester report, the TR, whatever the function may be. So there are different functions that is provided by the college management software. Those functions and the services that should be defined in case of the specification phase. So the outcome of the specification phase is a big document where all the functionalities, all the your services that are going to provide by the software should be defined. So this is the specification phase. The second activity is design and implementation. So here 2 words, one is design, second one is implementation. So first discuss about design. What we are going to design when we are developing a software. So in case of designing, we are going to design the activity model, the data model, or as a whole we can say as the system architecture. So, if you remember, in case of our insulin pump control system, there was a activity model. So, that activity model contains different types of hardware and a software, that is the controller, and how they are well organized. What are their relationship? There is a sensor, there was a your what alarm, there was a clock, there is a battery, there is a insulin reservoir, and there is a controller. So, what are their relationship and how they are getting organized, that is shown in our activity model. So, in case of design, once we get the SRS, that means software requirement specification document, then we will go for the design phase. So, inside the design phase, we are going to design the activity model or the data model or the system architecture. So, whenever we are talking about a system, do not think that the system is a single component. The system is consist of some subsystems. Like in case of weather forecasting system, there are 3 different subsystems, like your weather station, your data management and archiving station, and there was also a station management software. So, these are the subsystems. Collecting those subsystems together, we can call it as a system. And in case of subsystem, that is not a single entity, that is also combined of different components. Like in case of weather station, there are different instruments, there are some softwares, there are some power supply, there are some hardware, those are responsible for the connection in between satellite and the station. So, all these components are get together, then we can call it as a subsystem. So, in general, we are calling, when we are combining different types of components together, we can call it as a subsystem. Then when we are combining different subsystems together, then it is called as a system. So, whenever we are talking about a system, that must be composed of different components and different subsystems. So, in case of design, we are going to organize all those subsystems and what are the relationship among these subsystems. So, in this designing phase, we are going to well organize the different parts of a system. Take an example, in our first semester, when we are learning the components of a computer, computer is a single entity? No, computer is not a single entity. If you remember, there are different components or there are different subsystems of a computer. Like we have an input unit, we have our storage unit, we have our output unit, and we have our processing unit. And there was an architecture which defines how the input unit and storage units are related with each other, how the processing unit and storage units are related with each other, and how the processing unit or storage unit and the output unit are related with each other. That is the system architecture. That system architecture is going to define in case of this design phase. Next come to implementation. So, implementation means implementing the system. That means here we are going to code the system. We have our activity model, we have our system model, we have our data model. Then by looking at the data model or the system architecture, we are going to code for that. That means we are here, we are developing a set of programs. You can call it as a programming or you can call it as a coding. So, at the last we are going to find a set of program or that is a executable file. Once we finish the implementation phase, that means once we finish our coding, we will get a executable file. Then after getting that executable software or executable file, we will go for the validation. So, validation means it is popularly known as testing. Here we are going to test the software. That means those the set of programs or those executable file that is meeting the user's requirement or not. The user requirements, those the functionalities, those are the services which is going to provide by the software, that is specified in case of specification phase. So, here we have to check whether in case of implementation phase the output is a executable file. This is the output of the implementation phase. So, by coming to the validation phase, here we are checking whether that executable file or that software is going to meet whatever the requirements that is defined in the specification phase. So, if the customer wants something, then that is going to implemented here and that should be tested in the validation phase. So, in the validation phase, whatever the requirements that has been specified in the specification phase, we have to prove in this validation stage that all the requirements are well defined in the specification phase, they are well organized and they are well implemented, and now they are up to the mark in whatever the way the customer wants is, in the same way we are going to deliver that software to the customer. So, this is the validation phase. After the validation phase, if there may be an error, if there are any fault, then the software engineer should fix those errors and those faults. So, the output of the validation phase is a software solution. If anything we want to change, we can change there. Like suppose take an example, you are running a retail shop. So, there must be a billing software. That billing software is responsible for collecting the price of each and individual product that you are going to sell and calculate all the price including the tax, that is GST. So, suppose by the government regulation now the GST is 12% of the product. Suppose after 1 year or 2 years the government regulation changed and the GST is of 14%. So, after 2 years are you going to use that same software which is of 12% of GST? No, you have to change your software. That means we have to go back to the coding phase, then there we should change the logic of the program. So, that should be done in case of the validation phase. So, here we have to change our coding and we have to keep that the GST should be 14%. So, that should be done in case of validation phase. So, after validating our software is ready and now the user can use it. So, we are going for the evolution phase, that is maintenance phase. After delivering the software to the customer, the maintenance phase will start. So, in that if in future the customer wants some changes, then the system engineer should be there, the maintenance engineer should be there to accommodate those customers changes or to accommodate those customers changing requirements, or if any fault or any error arises in future after delivering the software to the customer, then also the maintenance engineer should be there to accommodate or to fix those errors and faults. So, these are the 4 fundamental activities. The first one is specification. Here we have to specify what are the functionalities and what are the services that the system is going to provide to the end user or to the customer. Next, the design phase comes. Inside the design phase, we have to design or well organize the system architecture. We have to well define the subsystems and what are the relationship with them. Then we come to the implementation. Once we get the system architecture, then by looking at the system architecture, we can code for them. We can develop a set of programs for the system architecture. So, that is the implementation. Here we can call the system is well implemented. Next, come to the validation. Once we finish the set of programs, then we can go for the testing phase. So, there are some for the testing professionals who are responsible for validate that software or who are responsible for testing the software, that whether the software is going to the same functionalities and same services to the end user which has been defined in the specification phase. Next, come to the evolution, that means maintenance. Once the software is get delivered to the customer, then the maintenance phase will be start. The maintenance engineer should be available there all the time to fix the errors, to fix the faults or to accommodate the changing requirements of the customer. So, these are the fundamental activities. Carrying out all these activities, we can call it as a software process. So, next come to software process model. So, software process model means it is the abstract representation of the software process. That means the way we are going to carry out the software process activities to develop a software product is known as our software process model. That means, suppose my colleague asked me in which phase you are, and I am just answering him that I am in design phase. So, inside the design phase I am going to design the activity model, the data model, the package model, the overall system architecture and the relationship. But I am saying that I am in just design phase. I am not going to say that I am just going to develop the activity model, the data model, the system architecture or whatever it may be. I am just representing that I am in design phase. So, he will understand that I am going to develop some data model or some system architecture. So, that is the abstract representation. By hiding all the description or by hiding in detail, I am just saying that I am in design phase. So, in the way we are going to develop a software product by following some process activities is known as our software process model. It is not mandatory that in the same way we are going to carry out the process activities. Suppose we have 10 software solution to develop. So, the same way we are not going to develop all the softwares. It depends on the software nature. The nature of the software defines how we are going to carry out all the process activities. If it is a big software, then we will completely fully plan all the software activities or all the process activities before we going to develop. But if it is a small software or if it is a one time program or whatever it may be, then we will go for the coding directly. We need not go to the specification and the design phase. So, it depends completely on the nature of the software that how we are going to follow all those process activities. So, that is the software process model. So, by looking at the software nature, different companies are following different software process activities or they can follow the same process activities, but in a different manner. So, that is the software process model. So, it is not that we have to simply carrying out all the process activities, those are specification, design and implementation, your validation, evaluation. So, this is not actually like that. We just have to follow all these activities, then we will find a software product. We must describe the product. That means there should be a product description. So, the product description includes, the first one is our product, what we are going to develop, what are the outcome of each activities. Suppose first one is our specification activity. So, in case of specification activity, what is the outcome or what is the product of the specification? That is the SRS, software requirement specification document. So, this is actually a document, a big document where we are going to define what are the functionalities, what are the service that is going to provide by our software product. So, the outcome of the specification phase is SRS. So, we have to define the product of the specification phase is SRS document. Next come to design. So, in case of design, what is the output? The output is system architecture. So, we have to define that the outcome or the product of the design phase or at the end of the design phase, we are going to have a system architecture with us. Next come to your implementation. So, in case of implementation phase, what will be the product? The product is a set of programs, or if we are combining all those programs, we can get a executable file which we are going to test. So, now next is your validation. So, what is the outcome of the validation phase? The outcome of the validation phase is the complete software solution. Next is the maintenance phase. Maintenance phase means we are going to maintain the software as per the user requirement. So, So, these are the product specification we are going to specify in case of product description. The second thing we have to describe in the product description is the role. So, whenever we are talking about the software development, that means there are lots of development team. We cannot say that a single person is going to develop a software. There are different teams for the different process activities. So, we have to define what are the role of those different teams. In case of specification, there should be some analytic professionals. They will analyze what are the users requirement or what are the your customers requirement, then they are going to develop a SRS document. Next, come to the design phase, there should be some software architect. So, for the designing phase, we have some software architects, they are going to develop the system architecture. Next, in case of implementation phase, we have some software developers. So, the developers are responsible for all the codings or all the programmings. Next, we have for the testing, we have some testing engineers, testing professionals, testing professional, maintenance engineer. So, for the testing, we must have testing professionals. Next, these testing professionals are responsible to validate the software. Next, for the maintenance, there must be some maintenance engineer who are always available there to maintain the software as per the user requirement. So, these are the roles of individual activities. We have to define all those roles in our product description. The last thing is there are some pre and post conditions for each phase. So, what are these pre and post conditions? Take an example, suppose we are going to withdraw some money from the ATM machine. ATM is a software based system because there are some hardware and there is some software. So, it is an embedded software system. So, we are going to withdraw some money from the ATM machine. So, what are the pre-conditions and what are the post conditions? The pre-condition means the inside the ATM machine there should be money kept as a stock. So, the post condition of the ATM machine means that much of money should be released from the ATM machine. Okay. So, these are the pre and post condition of the ATM machine. Like that, for each activities, each software process activities, we have some pre and post condition. Take an example of suppose your testing, validation suppose. So, in case of validation phase, what is the precondition? The precondition is we must have a executable file. Without having a executable file, we cannot go for the validate. If we have not an executable file, then what we are going to test? We have some executable file. So, this is the precondition. And what is the post condition? The post condition is a software solution. So, the executable file is the precondition. To test this executable file, there is a validation phase. So, after the validation phase or after testing the executable file, we will have a individual software solution that we are going to deliver. So, this is the pre and post condition of the validation phase. Like that, suppose consider the design phase. So, for the design phase, what is the precondition? The precondition is the SRS document, because the previous phase of the design phase is what? Specification. So, if we do not have a SRS document, that means we do not know what are the requirement of the customer, then how we are going to develop or how we are going to design the software or how we are going to develop a system architecture. So, we must have our SRS document with us before going to the design phase. So, the design phase, what are the outcome of the design phase? So, the post condition of the design phase is our system architecture. That means, before going to the design phase, we must have with us the SRS document, and after the completion of the design phase, we must have our system architecture with us. Okay. So, these are the pre and post conditions that we have to describe in the product description. The first one is your product, that means what are the outcome of each phase that we are going to describe. Next is the role, that means the development team, there are different development team. So, what are those roles and what are the responsibilities of those development team, that we are going to also describe. And the last thing is pre and post conditions, that means in each activity which is the precondition and what are the post condition, that also should be defined in the product description. So, this is all about the product description. So, in this class we have learned what is the process activities and what are the process description. In our next class we will go for the different processes that are plant driven or agile process, and we will go for the different process models also. Thank you.